on this together.
So I want to teach you guys a very basic principle on how to make sure that you make more money and save more money than the people that are making the same as you. You can even become wealthier than the individuals that make more money than you by applying this very simple principle. Now, everybody wants to talk all this deep logistics shit. They want to talk about, all this stuff that is macroeconomics, microeconomics, getting super intelligent, but they're not willing to understand the basics, right? So I'm going to teach you guys the basics today, because if you don't have a good foundation in life, then your life is going to be shit. That's just how it is, right? So my goal is that make more money than you by applying this very simple principle. So I want to teach you guys a very basic principle on how to make sure that you make more money and save more money than the people that are making the same as you. You can even become wealthier than the individuals that make more money than you by applying this very simple principle. Now, everybody wants to talk all this deep logistics shit. They want to talk about, all this stuff that is macroeconomics, microeconomics, getting super intelligent, but they're not willing to understand the basics, right? So I'm going to teach you guys the basics today, because if you don't have a good foundation in life, then your life is going to be shit. That's just how it is, right? So my goal is for you guys not to have a shitty life. So if I can prevent you guys from having a shitty life,
We love that. I don't think any of us want a shitty life, so thank you, Luke.
committing the same mistakes that everybody else commits, then you're good. We're gonna have a couple scenarios. Green represents money, okay? As we know. This is time, okay? So it's linear, we got income, vertical. Okay, so you start your entrepreneurial journey, right? Let's say you start your entrepreneurial journey right here at the age of 19, right? That's a fair assessment, right? You're done high school, you've gone through the indoctrination camps, but now it's time for you to make money. You don't want to work for a fucking job. So what you want to go ahead and do, all right, is start a venture. But as you become independent, you not only you have income, but you also have expenses. So let's talk about your income. People's income is rarely linear, right? It's very rarely linear. Unless you work a steady job, if you're becoming an entrepreneur, your income will not become steady like that. It's not very realistic, especially when you begin. Usually you'll have something like this, right? You could have like this. That's how your income would actually be, right? In entrepreneurship, if you're winning, that's how I've seen my career path be, right? You see a decrease in net worth, right? So like I'll go up like this, right? It'll be stuff like that, right? That's usually how my net worth works, okay? Now, what is the problem with making money, okay? The problem with making money isn't your ability to make it, it's your ability to keep it. And most people do not know how to protect their wealth. So let me teach you guys how to protect your wealth in a very basic.
I just want to let you guys know, I'm not even going to say nothing, because everything that I am going to say, he's most likely going to go over and say, swear to God. Because it's a mindset. It's not just words. Okay, it's a mindset. The difference to the mindset between the poor and the rich. The difference to the mindset between an entrepreneur and an employee. Right? It's definitely a mindset. So I am in the middle of converting my mindset from poor to rich, excuse me. So this is what I'm saying. I don't got nothing to say, because he's gonna say it, because these are the people that I watch. You know what I mean, these are YouTubers I watch when I have time to watch YouTube and just try to educate myself in any way possible. So I just figure, I share it with the channel, see what you guys think. So
way. We're going to keep it linear just for the sake of the illustration, but I don't want to make it complicated. If I make it complicated, you won't remember it. If I make it simple, you'll remember it forever. Hit the subscribe button, okay? And I'm going to show you guys how this is done. So, let's say your income is linear. We're just going to use it for the sake of the illustration, okay? Now, let's talk about your expenses. Most people match their income with the level of expenses that they have, okay? Because they think that their income is linear, that they have to have a linear spend. And usually what people are trying to do is they're trying to showcase to the world their income level, right? So as your income grows, you want to portray that growth in a way that people validate you. This is normal behavior. normal behavior, but it's not good behavior. So the average motherfucker who's a loser, right? And this isn't you because you're gonna learn at a young age, their expenses are right here. So what does that mean? That means that you have a slight room for error and a slight room for saving money, right? Remember, your money's linear. Look at how much room you have for error. You have very little room for error. And as we understand that your net worth, right, or the amount of money that you make as an entrepreneur isn't always steady, you could see dips like this, right? You could see stuff like this happen. Well, what happens in these pockets? And it's happened to me, right? Well, you're losing money. And what happens with expenses? Usually in life, it's extremely difficult in life to reduce your expenses. Just like we had the kid in the chat, right? Talking about they have a $700 car payment. Well, what are you gonna do now? Now you have a fucking headache. So now you have to deal with a $700 car payment because you didn't learn how to manage your expenses. Now, let's just say this is 100 grand. I'm gonna make this very simple. And I'm gonna teach you guys off of like real experience, right? So let's say this is 100 grand. When I was making 100K a year, many years ago, my rent was $200. My rent was $200. I was sleeping on a couch and I was making six figures. I was driving an old Volvo, okay? And I was staying up till 5 in the fucking morning with a job at 10 in the morning, working on my side hustle. But the point is, my expenses were fairly correlated. And then as soon as I hit 100 grand, my expenses reduced drastically. Why? Because I realized that I couldn't always count on making more money, but I could count on maintaining the money that I was making, right? And then what I could do was limit my expenses. So
he said he couldn't count on the money he was making, but he could count on the expenses that he had to keep them maintained.
What's the difference between this guy, old Volvo, okay? And I was staying up till 5 in the fucking morning with a job at 10 in the morning, working on my side hustle. But the point is, my expenses were fairly correlated. And then as soon as I hit 100 grand, my expenses reduced drastically. Why? Because I realized that I couldn't always count on making more money, but I could count on maintaining the money that I was making, right? And then what I could do was limit my expenses. So what's the difference between this guy and the first guy? Is that as time goes on and your income increases and your expenses stay the same, now you have freedom. This right here, this gap right here, ladies and gentlemen, is your freedom gap. This right here is your freedom gap. Sounds sexual, but I like it. This is your freedom gap, okay? The bigger the gap is, the more freedom you're going to experience in your life. So right now, my current expenses in life are fixed, probably about 40 grand a month, right? 40 grand a month is what I spend probably every single month, right? That between houses, between, what else do I have? Buying random shit, I don't know, bro. 40 grand a month is what I spend, give or take. I don't like saying that number because to me it's a gross number. It's way too much. But it is what it is. So this gap right here represents freedom. Your goal is to be doing two things simultaneously when you're getting rich. Two things. One is making sure that you're always on a steady uptrend. If you fall below, right? If you fall below, make sure that your expenses, right? We're going to do the red line, but I don't care. Make sure that your expenses give you enough wiggle room for risk. Does this principle make sense? Give me a fucking W, guys. I'm out here drawing on a fucking whiteboard for you guys to understand. Like, I can't make it more simple. Increase your income or keep your income the same, or slowly increase your income and maintain your expenses the same. Now, I needed to graph it in a way where you grasp the fucking concept so you understand that there is no shame living with your parents if you're clocking in money as long as you're productive. There is no shame living in a 1-bedroom house as long as it's a good fucking work environment that's productive and helps you elevate. As long as your expenses are stable. The hardest thing to get rid of is expenses. That's why a lot of these celebrities, they go fucking broke. They go fucking broke. So even though this is common sense to a lot of people, you would be surprised that a lot of people do not apply this. The moment they get 100 racks, they spend 100 racks. They're poor. instantly. Done. So this right here needs to be your measurement in your scale of life. And as you can tell, it's drawn in a slight uptrend. What does that mean? That means that your life quality does increase. But if God forbid, right, you are in a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where you're going up to 150K, boom, and your net worth bounces down 30%, or your income bounces down 30%, right? Then what happens? Look at all the fucking wiggle room. You're still living with freedom. So everybody that's waking up with anxiety, it's because they haven't figured this out. They haven't figured it out, that's why they're stressed. So it's not expensive to understand this concept. You don't need a master's degree. You just need good money management skills and to not give a flying fuck about what anybody says. If you can crack this code, it's because it's a mental code, bro. It's you need to come to terms with the fact that you ain't gonna be flexing like everybody else when you're 21. You're gonna be sitting, you're gonna be grinding, and you're gonna be building a real fucking business and making real fucking money. That's the name of the game. This, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is freedom. Now let's go to the situation that a lot of people live in. This is a situation that a lot of people live in. Let's say they have their steady level of expenses, and then they have their income. Most people don't know how to make money, and they get into fucking crazy debt. This, bro, right here is the life of an average American. You know what this is called? I'm gonna put it in red so you understand it. Breaking it down as fucking simple as I can, bro. And I can't wait for people to make fun of me with these basic ass concepts, bro. But you know what? Most of you guys are too fucking dumb to realize how valuable this information actually is. This is called slavery. That's what it is. You are a slave. You are in debt. Indebted. You are owing somebody, which means you must work until you pay that debt off. So the question is, do you want to live in freedom? Not luxury. Do you want to live in freedom or in slavery? That's the name of the game. Now what happens, bro, when you're in a different situation and you have all this money? What do you do with all of this? You grab it and now you invest it. And investments, something like this, are the same thing. Time now versus investment. This money that you had, that you were trying to flex on motherfuckers, you've turned this, okay, into investments over time. And here, ladies and gentlemen, is where the rich get wealthy. And that is the secret to wealth, bro. That is the secret to wealth in a very basic way, in a way that any peasant can understand. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. I mean, today I sat down, I was like, how can I simplify these concepts in a way that people can understand? Because I know we got a lot of young bucks in here that want to understand and learn how to make money. The first thing is, don't make the same mistakes your parents made, which was get a mortgage, work a traditional 9 to 5, eat genetically modified food, watch television, and take medication that they don't even know what the fuck they're taking. If you can avoid and do the complete opposite on all 5 of these things, you're going to live a completely better life than your entire family. So I simplified this concept in a way for you to understand so you can go out in life and win. This is the sauce. Understand this concept and you win. Your freedom now goes back and compounds as time over investment, and that's when you go from working for your money to money working for you, which is the key to becoming free.
Build $1 million.
It all comes back to the mind. If you're poor here, you're going to be poor in every other area of life. Head that says that you can't do it is programming. It's not truth. The truth is you can do it. They've just told you that your dreams should be a Louis Vuitton belt. They've convinced you. Not go put your money in the stock market, bet on Elon. What the fuck is Elon, bro? The fuck are all these dudes? Dude, I'm going to make millions and millions. I'm going to lose millions and millions. It's just the name of the game, bro. I'm here traveling through the map, hanging out. If that means being worth billions of dollars or being worth zero, so be it. I will never work a fucking job a day in my life, dude. The money matrix is infinite as long as you let it go on. I know this because from my personal life. Yeah. And here's the thing, I promise you, I know this to be true. There are people that are watching this video that will make $1 million this year. 100%. And that means if you're watching this video, you have to figure out which one of those 2 buckets you fall into. And there are people right now watching this video that have made $1 million that once in their life didn't believe that $1 million was possible till they made it. Like you and I. And then, but this is what I'm saying. But once you make that, bro, 100%. The money matrix doesn't end. It's infinite as long as you let it last. It's infinite because it's based on numbers. Money is just a metric, right? It's just a metric. It's just numbers on a screen. How many numbers are there? Infinite. So if your validation, your success, your identity is based on numbers, then it's never ending. There's always another number to chase. So yeah, bro, people got to start fucking waking up. So last night we were at a restaurant. It was all of us, all my homies, all my millionaire friends, family members, and we were around the table. Everybody was healthy. Everybody had a good time shredding the mountain. Everybody made money, had a good time. I actually lost money yesterday on the square trade, 40 grand, but that's totally fine.
And you lost card roulette too. It was great.
Yeah, it was $2,200 for the fucking fondue. We got scammed. You know what we got scammed? It's the bottled water, bro. You come to Switzerland, don't buy the bottled water, because this shit's like 10 Swiss francs for a little bottle.
Hey, they say the tap water here is good. I don't believe them.
I don't believe them merely because of the pipes. I don't believe them because of the water. I would totally be down to go to the river and fetch some water. But anyways, what were we talking about?
We're talking about the money matrix, and we're talking about how you define wealth.
I define wealth as your ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And in order to do that, you need health, you need relationships. In order to move around effectively, you need money. Your finances need to be secure. Your mind needs to be in check. It doesn't matter if you're healthy physically and have a ton of money if your mind is completely fucked, right? I know a ton of, dude, look at all the celebrities, look at all the actresses and actors that kill themselves. They have money, they have fame, they have good physiques, they look nice, they have all this shit, but their mind is corrupted. So the goal to be wealthy is your mind needs to be healthy, your body needs to be healthy, your bank account needs to be healthy. Wealth, by definition, is abundance. So what is abundance? Making sure that everything in life is properly set up. You don't want to have an abundant bank account and an empty mind. You don't want to have a destroyed body, right? Or destroyed relationships and have $1 billion. Every billionaire that I've talked to, I think the total, it's been like 6. Everybody tells me the 2 most important things in their life right now is lifespan longevity, biohacking, like how do I increase my life, and how do I spend more time with the people that I love. But they understood that in order to maximize health and money, they needed, health and relationships, they needed money. They got the bag, but they didn't let the bag identify them. And once they got the bag, they shifted their priorities. The problem is people don't know how to reinvent themselves. I reinvented myself multiple times. People confine you to a box.
You'll do it again.
First they were like, Luke is the e-com guy. Did fucking millions and millions and millions of dollars in e-commerce. Went and did consulting, but no, he's the e-com guy. I'm whatever the fuck I want to do.
I was the NFT guy.
There you go. So you're in a situation right now where people are gonna always try to box you up and limit you. But if your mind can be freed, your mind can be limitless. And it's limitless based off of the information that you inject into it. The information that you have, and I've said this before, has given you the life that you have. So if you want a different life, input different information.
Who is wealthier? The 100 millionaire with poor physique, with no access to friends or family that loves him, or somebody with $100 in the bank who has a friend that lets them fly their jet whenever they want to and knows the owner of 10 hotels that let him stay for free indefinitely with access?
The $100 million guy. And I'll tell you why. I know it's a little pivot to what you were gonna say, because the examples that you gave were just like capitalistic monetary examples. In the context of, is one compromising every other area of their life for the money?
Yes.
So yeah, 100%, because there's certain things in your life that you will never get back. So people, it's very paradoxical, right? People give up the valuable things in life, like relationships, family, health, the things that they cannot replace, mental stability, for the things that they can replace. Gucci belts, Louis Vuitton, money, Rolex, all their identity is built on what? The things that they've been told are valuable, but they've been told to you and sold to you so that somebody else's dreams can become true, right? So when you buy the Louis Vuitton belt, you're making somebody else's dreams come true. They've just told you that your dreams should be a Louis Vuitton belt. They've convinced you, right? So the big problem, brother, that I see, it all comes back to the mind. It all comes back to the mind. If you're poor here, you're going to be poor in every other area of life. So I genuinely believe that if a guy that had $100 didn't fuck it up, his life was in check and that he actually was about it. Not just $100, that's it, but had $100 and was actually about it, he'd be wealthier.
Yeah, so...
Because there's context to it, right? It depends. Does the $100 million guy have more money? Does the $1 million guy have health? There's a lot of spectrums, but the pursuit of money is to get to a point where you have financial freedom. At that point, it no longer matters, dude. Every guy says it, dude. Like, if every dude is saying it to you, maybe there's some truth to it.
But motherfuckers will not believe it until they live it, bro. And because it goes so deep that you can make $100 million and be terrified of going broke. People talk about it all the time, right? They live in constant fear. It's like being chased. Almost.
But why do they live in fear? Because they don't trust themselves, bro. So there's this massive ecosystem of conditioning whereby people aren't willing to bet on this. Who are you gonna go bet on, dude? Except yourself.
Bro,
who are you gonna go bet on, motherfucker? Like, go bet on yourself. If you're gonna go bet on somebody, go bet on your own wins. Go bet on your own life, on your own success. Not go put your money in the stock market, bet on Elon. The fuck is Elon, bro? The fuck are all these dudes? Oh yeah, I'm gonna bet on these winners. Bet on the winners with your spare change, like racehorses, dude. I use the stock market. All right, I bet on Elon. This dude's crushing. All right, put some money here. All right, I put 150,000 on Square's Jack bullshit company. That horse lost, whatever. But I treat that money like expendable. But I'm betting on myself, dude, to win. The dude that has $100 million that's afraid of going broke because he doesn't trust himself to make that money back. Dude, I'm gonna make millions and millions. I'm gonna lose millions and millions. It's just the name of the game, bro. I'm here traveling through the map, hanging out. If that means being worth billions of dollars or being worth zero, so be it. I will never work a fucking job a day in my life, dude. And that's the name of the game. I'll be free. I'll live under a bridge as long as I don't have to clock in and be accountable to some Karen bitch when I can take my lunch break. Fuck that, dude.
You know what's crazy about that, by the way? I think everyone goes through this, and I just went through this. Like, after I got to sort of a certain point, something in my soul, bro, changed to where, like, the same shit that I was doing, the 10, 12, 14-hour days, right? Just fucking killing myself every day. Like, for a while, I was like, oh, it must just be burnout, right? I just need to take a break, right? So I took a break, and I came back, and I was like, no, this is still terrible. I tried everything in the book other than, like, hey, maybe I've just started to realize what life is supposed to be, right? But you said it perfectly. People are fucking terrified. And remember when we were on the gondola on the way up, you mentioned mind control, bro. Because people's minds are fucking, it goes so deep. I'm still trying to escape it, bro.
It's super difficult to escape it. And the reason it's difficult to escape it is because it's so ingrained into who you are as an individual from the moment that you're born, dude. Like, the conditioning from ages 0 to 7 is called theta state. What is theta state? It's dream state. It's where the subconscious mind gets reprogrammed. So from 0 to 7, right, you have a period. What's conditioning the kids right now? Nickelodeon, all this bullshit, social media, YouTube. Kids are getting iPads at the age of 3. All this is programming and conditioning. From 0 to 7, that's the period that dictates the rest of your life. So the Jesuit priests that were out here like building churches and doing all these things, they said, give me a child from age 0 to 7 and I will tell you where he will be the rest of his life. So the problem is you're gonna have this struggle for the rest of your life. The question is, how do you deal with the little voice in your head that says you can't do it? It's recognizing that the voice in your head that says that you can't do it is programming. It's not truth. The truth is you can do it.